Today, just to reiterate the purpose of this session, we want to use agentic AI to build a little program, just something innocuous, such as here's a Markdown converted to HTML. I mean, these things are trivial, but the reason we want to do this is we want to work as a mob and rotate and get changes to this repo with different, hopefully different models, different tools, so that we end up with our own dog food. So we will end up with a repo that was built by AI agents and hopefully different agents. And then we will use that in the subsequent sessions to run our ACG assess process. And that process has automated component and the part that we think cannot be automated. It must be done by the panel of human experts. But to alleviate the chore, we will push as far as we can towards automating. And then, once we have the first triage, that like automated report, then it's over to human panel to say, okay, look, this is what we think about this AI generated product. The problem that we are trying to address is there's a lot of people right now. I'm following the industry that a lot of people have found different ways of using AI, and everybody claims their way is the best, and works for us. You know, remember from the days of waterfall, there was always these people say, no, we don't need agile. Waterfall works for us, and that everybody says something works for them, but doesn't mean that necessarily is the case. And also, none of these, from what I remember, or from what I can see, none of these things have ever been peer reviewed. So here we're trying to introduce a little bit more scientific approach where, yes, okay, so you claim that this approach works. Let's peer review it. There are people here who have a lot of experience, hands-on experience in production using AI. Let's have a way, a community, which is the guild, to do the peer review and to say, okay, well, out of these like 5 different things, we find that this approach may be the most prudent or recommended, etc. So that's the purpose of this, so that we can offer some kind of a community service to people who are keen on, becoming proficient and reliable, while at the same time minimizing the risk and respecting the ethical dimension, building software using AI. The challenges are huge, but somebody has to do it. I think this group here can certainly do it. So, without further ado, what we want to do now is maybe if somebody we pick up a navigator and a driver, and then go over the spec. I have created a seed spec. Maybe I can share my screen. Let's see, how do I do this? And I don't know if you guys had a chance to have a look. Mhm. All right, so here is the repo, and I've added the practice .json, which is just, I don't want to go over the details here with you. I don't know if you read it. It's basically to protect the some of the artifacts. And then the MD to HTML, Markdown to HTML spec, is basically just a seed here. And the intention is to grow this into full blown spec, which will describe, I mean, the scope is already described and what is out of scope, and also how the document is used. And then I've added the first feature, which is the ATA AX headings. I don't know if you guys had a chance to look into that. Because here we say, well, what is this? We describe how is this supposed to behave. We are not describing how is this going to be implemented. And then there are normative rules as well as edge cases. Does that make sense? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So now let's maybe for the first round try and implement the um, headings H1 to H6. So basically, let's have a driver who is going to be navigator who's going to be navigating this process, and pick a driver, and then let's share screen. Maybe the driver will. Um, I don't know who is there a volunteer, somebody who will be driving this. Okay, Nicola. So you